Sunday's storm led to severe flooding in some areas. That's why it's vital for homeowners and business owners to know some important information in the aftermath of Hillary.
Yeah, we are joined live now by Josh Miller, president of Rainbow Restoration. Thanks so much for being with us. First, we know water getting into your home or business, never a good thing, but talk about the different types of damage that floods can cause.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. There's a couple of different things that we're aware of in these situations. For anybody that unfortunately has experienced damage, I'd encourage them to go to a website. It's iicrc.org. That's the Institute of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration that sets the standards or provides guidelines for how we remediate this damage. So some of the types of damage in this case, what we've experienced in the Los Angeles area is would be considered Category 3 water damage. It can contain pathogenic, toxigenic, or other harmful agents that could harm humans if it's ingested or gets on our skin. And so when we think about the type of damage this Category 3 water is, any porous materials inside of a homeowner's home or even inside of a business, those porous materials would need to be removed, and disposed of, and then clean the structure back to a Category 1 condition so it's safe for people to inhabit.
You know, I've seen flooding before. As a child, I had my home flood. A lot of people don't think about some of the repercussions of flooding, things like mold and that kind of thing. What are the first couple steps that people need to do if their home is flooded to make sure there aren't other hazards down the road?
Yeah, so the first thing always I've been watching as you guys have been talking is always make sure that we're safe. And so before we re-enter a home, we want to make sure that things are safe. If possible, we want to make sure that the electricity is turned off depending on the severity of the flooding. And then after that, as we look at different things, number one is to make sure that you take plenty of photos. As you interact with your insurance company, they're going to want to see damage that's been done. And so that documentation is going to help out greatly because no doubt the insurance industry as well, the adjusters, insurance agents are going to be overwhelmed with the amount of call volume that they're getting. And so we want to continue to make sure that we get our home inhabitable again, but by having those photos, it'll help the adjuster when we get back out there. So we shut off the power, make sure we're safe. And then after that, we want to start to remove valuables. And if possible, if we can safely do it, try to get as much water out of the home as we can.
I grew up in an area where I think there are a lot of tropical storms and hurricanes, and our road would flood all the time, but it would never get into the house. However, snakes, bugs, all kinds of things make their way into drier areas anytime there's flooding. So I wonder if that's something that you warn people to watch out for, and what other kinds of hazardous situations you tell people to keep an eye out for as a result of flooding.
Yeah, so you touched on one of them. We really don't think about that, but the different types of wildlife are going to try to find somewhere else to live when those flooding occurs. A couple of things I think of just off the top of my head is, number one that we really don't think about is erosion around the foundation of our homes. So we have this massive amount of water that's moving from one area to the other. We want to think about the erosion that could occur around the foundation of our home. And then we also think about electrical safety that could cause fires. And so if anything, water has touched any of our electrical appliances or electrical things that we use in our home, we want to make sure that we get those checked out by a qualified electrician, turn those off before we would use those again, so that we're not dealing with a fire on top of the flooding that we unfortunately have in the area here.
Well, all really, really good points. I also watch out for those ants who like to get in now. Josh Miller, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate all the tips.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too.